Hi guys, how are you doing, my beautiful people? Hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much guys for being logged on my channel. Thank you so much for always supporting your girl, and I'm so grateful guys because of the people who have been texting me, asking me where did you go, you haven't been texting. I feel so much loved, and I actually see you, and I appreciate you guys are looking out for me, and yeah, looking out for your girl, and that's really nice. Thank you so much. If you know, you've been texting me, asking me if I'm okay, and just wanting to know if yeah, everything is fine. Anyway, thank you so much guys. So today in today's video I want to talk about the challenges I faced, or the challenges I realized are there while traveling with a child, and I'll say specifically a child 2 years and under, 2 years and below. Right now, recently I think last month we went for holidays together with my family. We went to Africa, we went to Kenya, we toured Kenya, we went a bit to Uganda, not really so much into Uganda, but we went a little bit. But we were in Kenya so much, we toured Kenya a lot, and it was amazing. We love Kenya. Now I'll do another video and talk about what I think how Kenya is now, but to be honest, I love home. I love this, just the goodness with being home. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've been here for long, or even if you've been here short time, let's say away from home, it doesn't mean that not necessarily being in Australia. What I mean is, if you've been away from home for a while, when you go back to Kenya, you will really feel the difference. And home is really nice, is cool. Well, we still have our own challenges, but as a country, I think we've really made a step. Anyway, I'll talk about that in a different video. So today I want to talk about the challenges I faced, the challenges that anyone could actually face if you're traveling with a child. Now, mind you, this is what I didn't know. If you are traveling with flights, and with most of the airlines, or I think all of the airlines, I'm not sure if it's all, but I assume it's all. If your child is 2 years and below, you don't pay for their seat, but you'll pay a little bit just for the services, but it's less than $200. So that's one thing to note. And then when we traveled with Emirates, so Emirates, they gave us luggage for a child who is under 2. They give you one suitcase, they'll give you a room for one suitcase, 23 kgs, but the only difference with the normal, or for those who pay for a seat, the difference is that if you pay for the seat, you get 2 23 kg suitcases and 1 carry-on. So the only difference is that the 2-year-old will only have 1 suitcase, which is 23 kgs, and we found this really helpful. It was helpful, but I'll talk about carrying a lot of luggage because we thought it was a good thing, but I'll tell you the challenge of carrying too much when you're having a child. Now I've written them down, what I found to be a challenge. So number 1 is that if you're traveling with your child, to be honest, the child will be very tired. This is, you might think, okay, yeah, they'll be tired even if they travel with the car or whatever with the train. But if you're going, especially international, you're going to Kenya, the flight from Australia, let's say Adelaide to Melbourne, we had to connect. So we connected from Adelaide to Melbourne. That was around 1 hour. Then from Melbourne to Kenya, I think it was around 15 hours. So this is 15 hours in a plane. This child is just there with you, and mind you, this age group, they are used to crawl, walking, running around, and now they are confined in a plane with so many strangers. The kids cry, they get tired, some of them get sick in the flight, during the flight. And then this is the other challenge. When the child is 2 years and below, we've said they don't have a seat. That means you're going to hold them on your laps for the whole of the journey. And I'm telling you, that is tiring. It is completely tiring. So it was so tiring for us, myself and my husband. We had to take turns with holding her. And then while we were going from Melbourne to Kenya, I think it's a good thing that my daughter slept almost the whole journey. But then it's not a good thing because we had to hold her the whole journey. And when a baby is asleep, they become a bit heavy. I don't know. It's because their muscles are all loose. They become too heavy. They cannot even control themselves. So holding my daughter from Melbourne to almost Kenya, of course she was awake a few times, but most of the time she was asleep. It was good and it was not good. But what I wanted to say is that they get so tired. They get so grumpy. And then the good thing that I saw with Fly Emirates is if you have kids, you're given those seats that they have room. So you have a room to actually extend your legs, and then the child can play just in front of the seats. And then you're put together with another family because you're put where there's 4 seats. So you're put together with another family, and then this family will also have a child. Now, what you'll not like is if you're put together with a family that their child is crying the whole time. And that's what happened with us. So this child was crying, and then our daughter is sleeping. And we are trying also to catch sleep while she's sleeping because, to be honest, the journey is tiring. If there could be a flight 7 hours, then you take a rest a day and then you continue the journey, that would be so lovely. But 14 hours straight is really tiring. Now, this child is crying the whole time. Children will vomit. Children will poo-poo. There's so much in the plane. And I'm not saying, I'm a parent, I understand. And I'm just telling you the challenges. It's very tiring. You get tired, to be honest. But anyway, it's still worth it. Anyway, let's continue. Now, the other thing is this. The other challenge that you might face is that you might need to pack a little bit more clothes. The reason is, and this is in your carry-on. This is the reason. These children, they will pour water on themselves. They will pour tea on themselves. They will vomit. They will poo-poo. Sometimes it will pass through the clothes. And it's just because they're uncomfortable. This is not their usual place. You know, kids, for kids to adjust, they don't know that they need to adjust immediately. They'll take time. I think it's very normal, especially with strangers. These are plane full of strangers, full of people talking in whatever languages they're talking. And these kids, they get so nervous. They get so agitated. They vomit. So you will need to pack a few more clothes in the carry-on. Apparently, we realized that we had 2 carry-on. One carry-on was full of baby clothes and her nappies. That is one way. Then also when we were going, and also when we were coming back, we did the same. And actually, we packed a little bit more because you never know what will happen in the plane. The other thing is this. be careful of the restaurants you go to where you're going for your holidays. So this is very, I don't know how to put it, but to be honest, you might not even know what kind of restaurants you're going to. So when we went to Kenya, my daughter was not sick immediately. She was okay. Few weeks, I think a week in Kenya, she was okay. And I think a bit of second week. And then the third week, she got sick. Diarrhea. She was just diarrheaing. And this is the reason, this is what I thought. So you see, we were visiting family and visiting different places, going to different restaurants, because we were moving every day. So I assumed that probably the cooking oil, that different people use different cooking oils. And there's no way you go to someone's house and tell them, we prefer olive oil, and maybe they don't have olive oil, for example. So you find that you go to different places, you're given food cooked with different cooking oil, you don't know the kind of water they are using. So all these things, I assumed they contributed to my daughter being kind of sick. We took her to a hospital. She was given some medicine, but it really took long before she could get better. And she was now scared of eating. She was really scared of eating. The only thing she could eat was, I think, chips, the chips, the dried chips. She was so scared of eating, and I could understand. And then my husband was also at some point sick. So we went to this restaurant in Mombasa, and we ate the same food. But the funniest thing, we got into the SGR 1 hour later after eating our food, and my husband and my daughter, they started diarrheaing in the SGR, in the train. But for me, I was still okay. So I think I assumed that it could be the food, the cooking oil used to cook the food, or the water, or maybe hygiene issues used while cooking these foods. Yeah, so you might really need to be careful while traveling with kids wherever you're going. Kids are very sensitive. They are extremely sensitive, but sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes it's hard for you, because you will not be carrying food everywhere you go. It's a bit hard. Unless you're cooking for yourself, that's fine. But then if you're going to restaurants and you don't know how they prepared the food, so it's a big challenge. That's a major challenge that I found while traveling with a child. The other challenge I found is dealing with jet lag. So you're going for holidays to Kenya, and Kenya is, I think, 7 hours behind Australia in time, right? So that means we go to Kenya, and our brains, they're used to sleeping at a different time, and then in Kenya we're sleeping at different time, waking up at different time, and then the tiredness. So it was very hard for us and the baby. So you have to deal with your own jet lag and then deal with your child's jet lag. So you're just confused, you know? Yeah, so it's a big challenge, because if the child was a bit old, you don't have to worry too much about them. But now this is a 2-year-old, a less than 2-year-old child, wondering what happened, mommy. I'm supposed to be sleeping at this time, and they will sleep at the time that they are used to sleeping, and at that time you want maybe to go out or something, or do something. Yeah, so it's a bit difficult, it's a big challenge, but then jet lag is something that doesn't last forever. So in few days we were back to normal. We adjusted to the time in Kenya, and yeah, we hit the road. Yeah, the other challenge I found is packing too much, carrying too many bags. Let me tell you, If you carry too many bags like we did, you will not like it. So we had 5 suitcases, big suitcases, right? And then we had 2 small carry-ons, and then we had my handbag. Let me tell you, when you're in the airport, the baby sleeps. So my daughter was tired. At some point she was very tired. She could not open her eyes. So I put her on my back. Not all the airports have strollers, remember. I know some airports will have strollers, like Dubai, they had strollers all over. In Melbourne, you had to go and ask the customer service, and sometimes they didn't have a stroller. But Dubai was really, really helpful. Dubai is a big airport, and it's a beautiful airport, and you can get anything you want. But Nairobi, there was no stroller. So we are here with 7 suitcases and a baby, a child who wants also to be carried by mommy. So you put the suitcases on that stroller thingy that you push, and the baby is also there, wants you to carry her. And I was trying to imagine, if I had 2 children with all these suitcases, how would we have managed? Because it was really, really tiring. I'm telling you, I will never, we decided the next time we travel, we are not taking too many bags. No, no. We'll go buy clothes there. We'll only carry a few clothes. And if we need more, wherever we are going, we'll buy them there. Because I'm telling you, you will not like it. I don't know anyone's experience, but for my own experience, it was not good. No. And then the worst thing that happened is when we got to Melbourne, we had to check in our bags again, because Fly Emirates could not check in our bags straight from Adelaide to Dubai, and that was really bad. So if you can get a flight that you don't need to check in your bags once more, you check them in once, go for that, because you don't want to go through what we went through. All right, the other thing is boredom. The kids will get bored. You might need to pack some maybe gadgets if you have tablets for them. You might need to pack in some toys for kids in the flight. The kids will get extremely bored because this flight is full of strangers, as I've said before. So you might need to bring in some toys, you might need to bring in a tablet, download a lot of movies for your kids or the music that your kids enjoys. And then unless you want to buy the internet in the flight, for us we didn't see any need, because again, I think people say, I haven't tried before, but people have said that it's always very slow. So I don't need to pay for an expensive internet and then it is slow. No, I'm not buying that. And anyway, that's the best time for you to be away from your phone. It was very nice. I remember when we were going for a whole journey, I didn't touch my phone because we were busy playing with baby, or baby was sleeping and we were sleeping as well. So unless you really need to maybe do something with internet, you might consider buying it. But make sure you pack in some toys and a tablet with some music, movies, fun things to do for your kids, coloring in, storybooks. Yeah, because the kids will get so bored. The other thing is traveling with children is expensive. I found it to be extremely expensive, and this is the reason. This is why. So you're traveling with a child. For example, you're going to a hotel. If you have a child, you might need to pay for a bigger room. And the bigger rooms are not cheap. So for example, when we went to Diani, we had to pay for a room that had an extra room. So it was like a 2-bedroom house. The other one had 2 small beds. Anyway, we ended up not really using it because we usually carry our own baby cot, and I would really recommend that if you have a baby, consider buying that. I'm going to put a photo here of the baby cot, because this bed, so for example, the bed is in another room. My baby, I don't want her to be sleeping in a hotel room in a different room from me. So we just carry this portable bed, and we just put it next to our bed, and the baby sleeps, and it's easy for you to be checking on the baby at night, check if they are well, if they are warm, if they need anything, if they cry, if they need nappy change. Yeah, so as I was saying, it tends to be a bit expensive. So if you're traveling with children, I assume you might need a car seat. So unless you're able to carry your own car seat, if you're not able to carry it like ourselves, we had to buy a new car seat in Kenya. So that's another expense. And then there are so many activities you cannot do when you have a little child, I'm telling you. And then you have to pay for kids activities now, which is another expense, right? I'm not complaining, I'm just laying fact. Kids are beautiful, kids are nice, but there's a bit of challenge. You might not really enjoy a lot of things, you might not do a lot of stuff. You will have to pay for child-friendly activities, which is okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter, which is okay. And then when you again on the same point of expenses, the kids want to buy everything. You go with kids to the shops, and the mommy dress, mommy this, mommy that. And I assume if you have 2-3 kids and you're traveling with them, and everyone wants to buy these things, and when you go for holidays in these, let's say, beautiful hotels or holiday places, things tends to be expensive. I don't know if anyone else have observed this. So you go to Mombasa, for example, in Kenya, in some hotels, and then they are selling these souvenirs or selling just things, normal things, but they are sold in a very expensive rate. Like they double it or triple it or even 4 times. And then the kids, they want all these, mommy this, mommy that, mommy. It is expensive. It is really expensive. So when you're traveling with kids, make sure that you're well prepared. Make sure that you have good money, because you will not like it if you don't have money. Anyway, guys, these are the challenges I actually observed. If you have any other challenges you might consider putting them in the comment section, and we will discuss them there. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video until this point. I'm so glad that you stayed and you have watched it. Please, if you have not subscribed, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel kindly. You will help me grow this channel. We are really on the road to 6,000 subscribers. We are currently on 5,000 and some hundreds, I can't remember, but we are hoping to get to 6,000 very soon, and I know with your help we are going to get there. So if you've not liked this video until here, please like it. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe and share it with your friends, and tell them we're going to do beautiful and more fun videos soon. So thank you so much. I love you. Bye.